Hey everybody, good evening. Meteorologist Dave Downey, Taylor Kanost here with me as well. We have moved southward. We were in Algona earlier, moved down to Webster County. We are in Fort Dodge right now. Not quite as much snow here in northern Webster County than what we saw up in Kossuth and Humboldt counties. When we were driving down US 169 earlier, about a half hour ago, we had whiteout conditions on US 169. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what the roads look like here in Fort Dodge right now. We're on 1st Avenue right now. I believe this is 10th coming up. Yeah, so 1st Ave and 10th Street is where we are right now. Definitely wet roadways. We're turning right onto 10th Street, and this one is snow covered. So what we saw in Algona is kind of what we're seeing here in Fort Dodge as well. Main Street's plowed, taken care of. There's product down. Iowa DOT doing a pretty good job putting the product down. But the side streets, definitely some snow covered. Some of those side streets are snow covered. And that's going to be the theme throughout the evening hours. There's another batch of snow moving its way in from the Omaha, Sioux City, kind of that I-29 corridor. And, you know, that Iowa-Nebraska border. It's moving eastward right now. Des Moines hasn't seen any snow yet. Des Moines and Ottumwa have been pretty much the only two cities in Iowa that have almost, you know, the two major cities, if you will, that have not seen much in the way of snow, rain, freezing rain, you name it. Lots of severe weather ongoing to the south. There is a tornado warning ongoing in the metropolitan St. Louis area right now. Supposedly damaging tornado on the ground there. But anyways, back here in Iowa, but a lot of snow, especially up to the north. There's some reports of close to a foot of snow already up near the Twin Cities. They have gotten pounded with a heavy snow band. But in Fort Dodge, probably, I don't know, Taylor, an inch on the ground, would you say, give or take?
You know, maybe not even that. Maybe not even that a foot yet here, or an inch here in Fort Dodge yet, but it's going to pick up here pretty soon. There's another batch of snow that will move in pretty shortly. So things are going to get a little bit more active as far as the snow is concerned. It's mainly been freezing drizzle and freezing rain in Fort Dodge through the afternoon and the early evening. Finally saw that transition to a little snow, and we have a lull here at the moment, but I would say things are going to pick up shortly. It was bad in Humboldt County. We had some very heavy snow, very low visibility, maybe 100 yards visibility at times, and you know, you don't have lights on those county roads either, or even on those state highways. So it was a tough go at times, no doubt about that, and it will continue to be that way at times overnight tonight. Des Moines, I think there's still a pretty good chance we'll get some snow there eventually, but we'll have to wait a few more hours.
Yeah, no, I agree, Taylor. Polk, Story County, move that over to Boone County as well. Kind of the metro area has not seen much at all. Some sprinkles maybe earlier today. You're wondering, where's all the snow? Where's all the weather? Because we've heard about this system a lot for the past, week or so. We've been seeing this hint at the models. I remember forecasting last weekend. We saw some potential for a late week storm, and here it is. Places in northwest Iowa under a winter storm warning. That's into effect through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Winter weather advisory includes Fort Dodge, over to Waterloo, down to Ames. Does not include Des Moines. Des Moines is probably going to end up with around an inch, maybe an inch and a half, especially on the north side of the city. If you look at the radar right now, you can go to weareiowa.com/weather to get a look at that live radar. There is a heavy band moving through Omaha right now. It's clipping Omaha. I'd say the northern half of the city of Omaha is getting the snow, and that's the band that's moving our way. Our way is in Des Moines, probably around or just after midnight. I think the snow has stopped now here in Fort Dodge. It snowed pretty hard about an hour ago, right as we were heading down, right?
Yep. We're getting a little lull right now. I expect it to pick back up pretty soon, though.
Yeah, and as I mentioned this earlier, as we were driving southbound on US 169 between Algona and Fort Dodge, the driving conditions were just, they were not good. Whiteout conditions at times, snow coming down probably an inch per hour with wind gusts, I would say easily 25 to 30 miles per hour. There's no blizzard warnings into effect, but of course there are winter storm warnings in northwestern Iowa. It does include Pocahontas County in our viewing area. Of course, Fort Dodge is under that winter weather advisory, as I said. The radar does say that, hey, the snow, the heavy snow, you can see those kind of dark blues on the radar are definitely coming our way. Again, weareiowa.com/weather to get a look at that live radar sweep. Des Moines, again, has kind of been in that I don't. It's in what we call the dry slot in the low pressure system. There's snow to the north, and there's a lot of severe weather to the south. We counted earlier. There's between 15 and 20 tornado warnings simultaneously across the Mississippi Valley right now. And of course, this is December 10th, which you would think it's not really normal. And what also is not normal, Taylor, is the 70-degree temperature that we're forecasting next week. But anyways, if you're just joining us, we are in Webster County in Fort Dodge. You see the roads right now going through the roundabout right now. Temperatures right around the freezing mark. Not too bad, but hey, the main event, if you will, for central Iowa is not here yet. Carroll, you're seeing some of the heavier snow starting to drift its way eastward into Carroll County. Des Moines is going to see the snow arrive probably around or just after midnight. Inch or inch and a half for Des Moines when we're all set and done tomorrow morning. Warm up around 40 degrees tomorrow. Places to the north where it's snow covered obviously won't make it as warm. Probably low to mid 30s for northern Iowa, especially north of US 20. But I guess we saw some lightning strikes out to the east earlier today near Poweshiek County on the radar. So this has just been an interesting system. Sometimes these systems in March or in December, kind of those season, the edge of the seasons, if you will, can produce these interesting outcomes with big temperature gradients from north to south. You know, we had 70-degree temperatures down in Memphis, Tennessee. That's why we're spotting severe weather down there near the freezing mark here. Brian asks, is it going to reach Webster City? Yeah, Brian, it's going to head your way soon. I'm not sure you've got a ton on the ground there yet. You'll probably end up with between, I'd say, 2 and 4 inches when we're all set and done. You might have an inch on the ground now. I'd say between 2, maybe up to 4. I'd say more likely between 2 and 3. We are turning right now. What road is this, Taylor? Can you tell?
Not sure. Is Central Avenue.
Central Ave. So, you know, downtown Fort Dodge. Definitely some snow-covered roads. We have seen some plows out. Wet roads at the very least, but you can see on the camera here in front of the car. Definitely some snow. Brian says nothing yet. So I think, Taylor, that kind of gives us a good idea. We knew that the snowfall gradient was going to be pretty steep with this. Mm-hmm. And now that we're hearing nothing yet in Webster City, I mean, we were up in Algona. There was probably 2 inches on the ground by the time we left. There's probably at least a half an inch here in Fort Dodge so far. And again, the main event hasn't even hit yet.
Yeah, so Webster City, I mean, you're going to get snow eventually. It's just a matter of when. I would say pretty soon you'll start to see it. And yeah. As Dave mentioned, you'll get at least a couple inches there before it's done. As we've said all week, it's really an overnight, Friday night snow that we're expecting for most of the area around Des Moines and Ames. If you have a little ice on the ground from the freezing drizzle from earlier today, like we do in Fort Dodge, that just adds to the slickness out there. I've kind of skidded when I've tried to stop a couple times here in downtown Fort Dodge, and I'm not driving fast at all. I'm only going 20, 25 tops. So yeah, it's something to take note of. The good news is we're going to have sunshine pretty much all day tomorrow, and pretty much everyone's going to climb at least briefly above freezing. It will be a lot warmer on Sunday into next week. So we are looking at pretty much all of this snow melting away by, I don't know, next Tuesday.
Easily, yeah.
If not, then Wednesday for sure.
Well, we're going to get close to 50 degrees in Des Moines on Sunday. So yeah. I think the north to south kind of gradient because of the snowfall melt, it's going to be interesting. Brittany asked, I think it will reach Iowa Falls. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to come your way. It might be a little bit longer for Iowa Falls, probably around the same time frame as Des Moines, 11, 12 o'clock tonight. Probably around that same 2 or 3 inches that Webster City is probably going to see. The snow on the backside of the system, it's not light. Definitely moderate to heavy in spots. Sioux City, what was that report we saw earlier in Sioux? Was it 6 inches already?
For Sioux Falls had, as of 6 p.m., 8.1 inches. So, wow. I mean, they're going to end up with more than we do here in Iowa. That's just a little bit farther north from southern South Dakota to southern Minnesota. They're going to end up being hit hardest, but nonetheless, we are going to have at least our fair share and our first snow for a lot of us by the end of the night tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. We mentioned that snowfall gradient. Like Spencer, northwest Iowa is going to see in excess of 4 to 6 inches of snow. Algona, where we were, is probably going to see between 5 and 7, maybe 8 inches. Mason City is going to see between 4 and 7. And then our friends to the north in Minnesota will see even more than that. So in terms of travel difficulties, I think this storm could have been a lot worse, especially for the Des Moines Metro. there hasn't been anything in Des Moines yet. So the Friday night commute, even the Friday morning commute, was completely fine. So it definitely could have been a lot worse in terms of impacts, if you will. At the Minneapolis International Airport, I'm not sure. Haven't really looked into what their impacts have been, but just watching the radar, I don't really see how they've been flying planes in and out of there for the past few hours with that heavy snow band over top of them. Brian asks, where you guys headed? We're hanging out here in Fort Dodge for the 9 and 10 o'clock shows, so we're gonna kind of track the road conditions here. Like I said, the next band is probably gonna reach Fort Dodge the next hour and a half tops, probably the next hour by 8:30 or so. So we're gonna kind of watch that unfold here in Webster County. Brittany said she saw the freezing drizzle. It doesn't surprise me with temperatures right around that freezing mark. Probably came down as rain. It was just cold enough at the surface that rain probably ended up freezing right on impact. So doesn't surprise me there. This is Ford 8. Is that a
movie theater?
Yeah, movie theater. We saw one of the type of those up in Algona too.
Shout out to the State 5. Shout out to the State 5 theater in Algona.
Yeah.
They gave us free popcorn. That was nice of them.
Yeah, that was our dinner. So up in Algona.
Wait, you gotta show off the bucket.
Oh yeah, we do. We have to show off the bucket. Let me flip the camera around here.
No, I got you.
Bucket of pop. We got a lot left.
Yeah,
So if you want it, come and grab it. We're up in Fort Dodge. Look for the GMC. But yeah, shout out to that theater up in Algona. The roads here, I'm not gonna lie, they're a little bit more snow covered than I thought they might have been. We were calling Brad, should we go to Humboldt? Should we stay in Algona? We made the decision come down to Fort Dodge because the roads were interestingly snow covered enough. I don't know if there's quite been an inch. The grassy areas are not covered yet, so I think there's probably less than an inch on the ground. It was fun to get in the car. The doors were frozen. Oh boy. Yeah, that's one of those times you gotta get in the car.
Use a little muscle.
Yeah, use a little muscle and let the car warm up for a few minutes to use that defroster and burn it off. We're gonna drive down the main thorough. Is this Central?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Center and 11th Street here in downtown Fort Dodge. Yeah, Central Ave. There's a plastic bag blowing on the sidewalk, so the winds are blowing a little bit.
It's like a ghost town out here.
Yeah, it is.
That's good. It was good timing for this snow, being a Friday night and overnight, so it's not going to affect really a morning commute for people getting to work or the kids going to school as my car slides down the hill. So
there's a good and you were not even going 10 miles per hour. You're going 5, 7.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
It is, and temperatures right around the freezing mark here in Fort Dodge. That's the problem. You can probably see it see this wet patch up here. What that can turn into later tonight is some black ice. With that kind of mix earlier today, if it melts, and then kind of refreezes, snow falls on top of it, that can create a bit of a mess. But like Taylor said, Saturday morning tomorrow, weekend starts. So unfortunately, we're not going to see enough snow in Des Moines to get out and really have some fun in the snow tomorrow. No snowball fights or sledding. I'm not sure if there's going to be quite enough snow for that, Taylor, but it's only December. We know those days are coming, and in Northwest Iowa, those days are here. Because they're going to get up to 6, 8, maybe 9 inches in places like Spencer and Algona. Algona's probably going to see between 4 and 7. But yeah, Southeast Iowa, if you live southeast of the metro, places like Ottumwa, Oskaloosa, Sheraton, you might see a dusting. I'd say that's the most with this. Des Moines, if you're just joining us, probably between an inch, maybe 2 inches. It's just going to depend on that snowfall rate between about midnight and 3 a.m. Snow should taper off by 4 or 5 a.m., easily be out, maybe even be out of the state by sunrise tomorrow morning. Probably will hang around the Waterloo, Cedar Rapids area, but of course that's east of our area. So we are probably going to end it here. Flip the camera back around. We'll be live here in Fort Dodge for the 9 and 10 o'clock shows. Still driving around. Like we said, snow is going to pick up after probably 9 or 9:30 here in Fort Dodge, and then it'll pick up in Des Moines by midnight or just after. So stay safe tonight, stay warm. Next week, it won't be that hard to stay warm with highs in the 50s, and yes, even a 70-degree reading on Wednesday. But for now, stay safe, have a good night, and enjoy the snow while it lasts.